Hello guys, I'm Shane, welcome to my channel. I haven't done a video for a little bit. I was just gonna do one kinda sorta quick-ish. Yeah, I'm in a bathing suit. I had just taken a shower and I'm just being lazy. Today is July 29, 2021. Ooh! I just ripped her hair out. Frick, that hurt. My hair tie bracelet then got stuck in it, pulled a hair. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a video pretty soon. Okay, let me talk about this real fast, guys. Sorry, let me get my thoughts together. I don't know how I want to word this. So, I like the social medias that I have. I don't know who follows me or who watches me or anything like that. I don't have the largest platforms of audiences. I used to have larger ones. I got hacked, yada yada, so on and so forth. But let me just talk quick and brief about just like mental health. Let's talk about anxiety, depression, suicide, all that kind of stuff, but on a very light, superficial surface talk. I don't want anyone to get the wrong opinion of me. And, you know, people care about their reputations. It is important. So I don't want people to think I'm a negative, pessimistic person. I'm always bitching, complaining. That's not what I want this video to be. And I'm not looking for anybody's pity or sympathy. That's the disclaimer. I'm going through a lot of like stress and drama. Everybody goes through stuff all the time. My struggle is no greater or worse than anybody else's. But let me just tell you guys this. Whoever watched my video, I don't know if you followed me for a long time or not, but I have a lot of issues with my family, and I love my family to death. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and I would like to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in case it could help somebody or even help me process and deal with it. But without going into super details, if you have parents, if you're gay and you come out of the closet, and if you have parents that are loving and supporting and understanding, and they're going to be there and great, yada yada, so on and so forth, God bless you, more power to you. I used to be very bitter and jealous of people who had those experiences because that was not my experience per se. So let's say I came out of the closet already a decade ago. I'm 33 years old, and currently I'm staying at my dad's, so I'm living back at home. And I don't know if you guys ever had family who is dysfunctional, is the word I would say, or even toxic. No different than a relationship. But a lot of times people don't even realize what they're saying or doing, and people are not aware. People are not self-aware nowadays. I experience it all the time at my job. A perfect example, I had a guy coworker come up to me and tell me he knew about my orientation. He knew I was gay. And he just wanted to tell me that he didn't have a problem with it. He didn't have an issue with it. I could be myself around him. He wants me to feel comfortable. But the more and more he's telling me all this stuff, it was like an unnecessary conversation, and it was kind of sort of an awkward conversation. It would be like going up to a black person and saying, I want you to know I'm not racist against black people. Just so you know I'm not. Okay, I'm trying to use an example here. So if you understand what I mean about that, a lot of people say and do offensive, ignorant things, and they don't even mean to be so ignorant, and they don't even realize how their stuff comes across. That was my example. A perfect example would be, you could see Michelle Visage in the background there, because I was about to watch Untucked or What You Packin'. Michelle Visage is a female biological woman. She was born a girl and a woman. But would it be offensive if someone went up to her and asked her, oh, you're a transgender woman? You understand what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff, it's like people's plumbing and their body parts, it shouldn't concern other people. It's none of your business. So I'm a firm believer in, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I'm a firm believer in that. But I also know hurt people hurt people. So recently, guys, I was really sick on Monday. I had taken a lot of diet, exercise, weight loss stuff. It made me super duper super sick. So sick. I was throwing up, vomiting, all this stuff. And I'll just get into it. My mom called me the following day on the phone and, like, you know, bitched me out. She lectured me, yada yada, telling me, what am I taking that for? What do I need that for? My mother is one of the people who fat shames me, who tells me I'm so fat, I'm morbidly obese, I've gained all this weight. She's pinching my belly at her house when company's over. And it was on my aunt's birthday, which we had like a spaghetti meatball dinner at my mother's house. My grandma was there. Other family members was there. I was so embarrassed. I was mortified. And my mom had been embarrassed in the past by her mother at a family reunion, crying and complaining, oh, my daughter's anorexic, yada yada. So this is what I'm saying about hurt people hurt people. Now, my mom doesn't even realize that she did this. She used to all the time comment on my face and my acne scars, or my sister's weight, because my sister is heavy set. And my mom would be so mean and constantly, she has body dysmorphia. She is a petite woman of about 120 pounds, give or take, maybe a little bit more, because my parents are about to be 60 years old, you know. But even that same spaghetti dinner, my mom was talking to her sister about my dad's girlfriend, about how petite she is and how thin she is. And she's so beautiful and gorgeous and young. But the appeal of her attraction to my mom is that she's so tiny, that she's so thin. So that, like, to me, it's like, you don't even realize, like, how you sound or what you think. And it's so hard for me to talk about any of this, because my family is probably the only people who watch my videos. And my family gets so pissed off and mad at me if I put our dirty laundry out there, if we air it out for the business of the world or whatever. But I am sick. My mom constantly insults me. She criticizes my hairline because it's receding, and I'm 33 years old. Her and my grandma, they do not like my curly hair. And if you had a whole childhood of being put down and insulted and criticized and critiqued, it's very damaging. It just destroys and breaks your spirit, because in the gay community, you have to deal with this all the time. Because being gay is a lot like how women had, like, the pressure on them to maintain their weight and their body and their youth and and don't have wrinkles and don't have this and don't have that. And it's very hard. It's just really toxic. You can't please people all the time. You have to love yourself and just be happy and confident in yourself. And I had a lot of struggles with my sexuality and my coming out, and my family not being loving and supportive and accepting or trying to even understand. They don't even try to understand. And so I said to my mom how she hurt my feeling when she calls me fat or whatever. And she tried to say, like, well, I call her stupid or idiot because she doesn't know how to do her phone, because she doesn't know how to do technology. And her and my grandma can't use their iPads and their phones. Or my mom got a new car recently and then she didn't know the push to start thing or the remote start. I don't even know. But I've never insulted or called names. I know for a fact I don't do that because I was, again, picked on and bullied so bad to the point of where I was suicidal, and I wouldn't do that. I make friends with kids, with people of all different, cliques. I typically make friends that are the rejects or the nerds or the dorks, or that they don't have a tribe, because I gravitate to those people who get picked on and bullied, and I will put an end to it and not allow it to happen. So I'm not going to be the bully. But my mom tried to say, like, I hurt her feelings or I insulted her or something, so that's why she retaliated. And I'm thinking, so two wrongs make a right? No. Also in my family, more on my mom's side, there's a thing that they do constantly where they want to insult you by comparing you to somebody else. So it's a two birds, one stone special of, I'm going to insult you and compare you to this other person and da-da-da. So, I got compared to my uncle the other day, and he passed away. And the family often used him as a comparison insult. Or my sister gets compared to her biological dad. My nephews are constantly compared to me as insults. Okay, meaning, like, it's not a positive compliment thing that is the comparison. It's a negative trait. It's like a dig, a slam. So, my nephews talk a lot because I talk a lot, and I'm like my dad who talks a lot. And it's a never-ending thing, and I don't know, where do you get off feeling better about yourself by tearing somebody else down. If you call somebody else fat, you're not skinnier. If you call somebody else dumb, that doesn't make you smarter. Or call someone ugly, it doesn't make you more attractive. So I know that hurt people, and I know a lot of times things are done and it's not even intentional. And I know that I'm a sensitive, emotional person, so I do get my feelings hurt easy. But also, I know I'm a Taurus, and I'm stubborn and bullheaded, and I'm also very smart. So stuff that I know about, like if it's dialysis related that I did for a long time, or if it's something that I know about, I'm not going to change my mind on what I know that I know. And I know right from wrong, and I was preached all this stuff about what's right and wrong. And it's ironic to me that a lot of the people who have opinions about stuff, they're the most hypocritical. The pot is calling the kettle black, or the people who live in the glass houses are throwing the stones. You get what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I don't try to be like a know-it-all or anything like that. And sadly, it's like my mom keeps wanting me to go see a therapist or a psychologist, and I seen one a long time ago, and she tells me that I'm stuck in the past and I'm dwelling in the past, and she tells me I have a mentality of like a 13-year-old. Her and my dad both have said this recently, where they think I have a childhood mentality. But also, I'm working at Rite Aid currently. I was trying to work at a restaurant as a second job, but there was a lot of drama and bullcrap there, and I wasn't even on the payroll. And so I decided that job is not worth it for me because it's toxic. And even when I told my mom that I quit that job, what she heard is, "Oh, you got fired? You got fired from that job." It's like, what the fuck? What are you twisting and manipulating stuff around? That's not even what happened, and that's not even what I said, and you weren't even there. So it's like, and that's where she compared me to my uncle. And she thinks I'm this know-it-all, and I'm always right, and I won't listen to nobody, blah, blah, blah. Then she keeps telling me, she wants me to see this psychologist or this doctor. And she was upset that when I seen the doctor in the past, I had taken my ex. And she was like, that was meant for you to get help, not for your ex. And she tells me that I'm the one stuck in the past. Like, that's confusing to me. Not to mention, she lied to that doctor when me and her had a therapy session there. So I'm like, well, you're not going to get any help if you're telling the doctor lies. And because the doctor has no stakes in the situation. They're not gaining anything out of it. But again, my mom is so worried about like her reputation and what people think of her, or if she's a failure of a mother or whatever. But it damages and breaks my heart. I came out a decade ago, 10 years ago, I came out of the closet about being gay. And even recently, we're in July now, the end. But the end of April was my birthday, and my mom still had a conversation with me saying she wished I would just stop being gay. She wished I would go back into the closet. She wished I would just try to be straight. She wished I would da-da-da-da-da. A decade fucking later. Like, I've had so many relationships, and I've never been with a girl. And I'm never going to change. You can't help or control what you are. You cannot do to make people happy and be people pleasers. I don't understand it. I don't. I don't even want to understand it. It's like, it is sad or it's tragic. Again, I don't want this video to be misconstrued because I'm not trying to bash or badmouth anybody. I'm not trying to put anybody's business out there. I promise you I'm not. I'm trying to talk about my experience and hopefully I can relate to or help somebody. But if you love anybody, if the relationship is toxic, if it's dysfunctional, you have to get out of that. Misery loves company. People will tear you down. And the best revenge is to live your best life. And I'm not stuck in the past. And I'm not getting fired from jobs. And I'm not unhealthy and having all this stuff. It's like, again, with the technology, I didn't even talk about that. With my mom and grandma, and they don't know how to do technology, and they don't want to learn Facebook and their iPhones and whatever. My mom will get mad because she doesn't understand it, and she wants me to teach her or to show her. But reality, I'll do it for her and show her, and I'll move slow so she can see. She does not want to learn. She does not want to understand it. She just wants someone to do it for her and then be pissed off and bitchy. And it's the same thing about my sexuality, about me being gay. She doesn't want to understand me. She doesn't want to relate to me. She doesn't want to accept it or approve it. She just doesn't. You cannot help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. And it makes me sad that my mom thinks I'm mental because, I don't know. She thinks if I talk to a doctor or a psychologist or a therapist, she thinks I'm going to get cured. She always talks about me and being gay. It's like a sickness or an illness. It's a disease. And that breaks my heart. It's sad because parents should love their children regardless. It's like, I love my sister to death and I love my nephews. And so much times in the family, it's like threats and whispers about if the kids turn out gay, it's going to be because of my fault because they look up to me. It's like being gay is not contagious, first of all. It's not contagious, and it's not a choice. And so what if the kids are gay? You should love them regardless. And I love my nephews, and I know my sister loves them, and all the family loves them. But this whispers and this talk and stuff, I remember being a kid and constantly entering rooms where people were talking about me. Like, all of my childhood. It's really fucking, again, it's damaging, it's messed up. It's like, it makes you paranoid, it makes you insecure. You shouldn't have to live like that. And my nephews love me, and I love them, and despite whatever they are, regardless, unconditional love. And that's all. That's all. I just wish people knew your words have power, and when you say and do stuff, even if it's out of anger, or even if you didn't mean it that way, even if you weren't thinking and you just impulsive, a lot of times you cannot take stuff back once it's out there. Once it's out there, it has to run its course. Once you've caca and set it free. So I just try to tell people to be mindful and be coherent, be aware. You got to be aware. And something that my doctor had told me, the psychologist doctor, which I agree with, you cannot control other people, how they think, how they feel, how they were raised, what they're going to do. You can only be responsible for yourself. You can only worry about yourself. So as far as me loving my mom and my dad, I love both my parents. And I appreciate them, and I'm grateful for them, and they're helping me get back on my feet and stuff. But like, people who don't have a life, or they're bored, or they're nosy, and they're in everybody's business, and they're questioning things, and they're having opinions, and it's kind of like, worry about yourself. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. I didn't even tell you, like, I showed my mom pictures a long time ago of women who had all gray hair, and Michelle Visage has like the gray streak. And my mom went to her hair salon, and she's sitting in the chair, and she's texting me, where are those pictures of the women with the gray hair? And I text my mom, they're on the internet, Google it, search it, find it. And she's like, no, you do it, you send it to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it comes down to being laziness. Like, and I was with my grandma taking her to get her hair done from Chippewa to Zillionople, a far drive, and it's a whole day event, and like, I was busy, I couldn't be on my phone. And like, a little bit of time passed, and I didn't respond to my mom, and she texted me, are you there? Did you answer? And it's like, oh my God. Do something for yourself. I'm 33 years old. Again, I don't want this video to be misconstrued. I'm not bitching, I'm not bad-mouthing, I'm not complaining. I love my parents, I love my family, but we have done a lot of hurtful harm and damage to each other. And I love my mom, and it breaks my heart. I'm sad because I think she was not loved enough as a child. And that's not her fault. And I'm going to start crying because I was so close with my mom. I was best friends with my mom until I come out of the closet. And I all the time wish I could go back and make things the way they were. And that's the sad thing. Like, I watch RuPaul's Drag Race, Untucked, those kind of shows. They have all these people who is gay, and they're celebrated, and they're praised, and all these celebrities, and all this. They don't ever highlight, like, the drugs and addiction, or, like, the struggle and the stress. They don't, like, I love the TV show Pose on FX, or on Amazon Prime. They just don't show. I don't care about people in the world, what their opinion is of me, what people think of me. When me and my first boyfriend broke up, everyone thought I had HIV and AIDS because that's what he was telling everybody, just to save face in his own neighborhood when I came back home, which that's not the truth. But regardless, I really don't care. I have to live my life, and I have to live in my truth, and love me or hate me for what I am and who I am, and accept me as I am, and I'm not going to conform for nobody. And it breaks my heart. Like, so much time has passed, and it's like you're still stuck in your way of thinking. Like, we live in these towns and these neighborhoods, they're so narrow-minded and they're so old-fashioned, and it just blows my mind. So again, y'all, please do not think like, I don't want anyone's attention. I don't want sympathy or empathy. I'm just saying, if you're going through struggles, and if people are lashing out on you, if people are trying to hurt you, you have the power to not let it. Don't allow it. You rebuke it in the name of Jesus. You don't have time for that in your head or under your skin or nothing. And that's like what the doctor had said to me. You allow people to treat you the way that they do for as long as they do. Because ultimately, you don't got to tolerate it. You don't got to put up with it. It's bullshit. Vaya con Dios. Go with God. See you later, y'all. I love you. All good vibes. Leave a comment.